Hello everyone, this is your host, Carrie Logan, and welcome to Master the Upper Rooms. Today, I want to discuss profound insights, because at times we can get so stuck in grief and invested in our stories that we cannot see the profound insights and blessings from our life lessons. We can cling to our pain, regret, guilt, and heartache. Our pain and suffering can, at times, be so consuming and overwhelming. Some people will immediately try to escape the pain by drowning their sorrows in alcohol, porn, gambling, overeating, online shopping binges, gaming, hours of social media scrolling, and other unhealthy behaviors. This topic is important to me because I have known a good friend for 25 years, but he could not see and appreciate the profound insight and blessing until I made him self-aware. We get so caught up in negative thinking without positive self-awareness or self-reflection. And yes, it means work and the courage to go within, but many people seem stuck in their misery and cannot find a solution. They are stuck on a hamster wheel and do not know how to jump off. So let me explain, because I know several people can relate to this podcast episode, and it might help others jump off that hamster wheel. Now, my delightful friend has been married and divorced twice. After they had children, his first wife became unaffectionate, and the marriage ended. Then he met wife number 2. She was affectionate, but he did not know about love bombing or the traits of toxic people. He knew wife number 2 had experienced trauma and abuse, but because the affection was like a drug, he overlooked her inner demons, childhood wounds, and addictive behaviors. We have all heard the saying that sex can be like a drug, and in some manner, she became his drug dealer. He was hooked. Women have used sex for centuries to control and manipulate men. That's why women say men think with 2 heads instead of 1. There's a little humor here. And I'm going to be completely transparent here. Some cultures celebrate these trauma bonding relationships because of the misconception of romance and passion. For example, a Latino and Italian family will believe that romance means the following: love/hate or hot/cold relationships. The next one is you find yourself in an extremely loud, passionate, drama-creating roller coaster relationship. And then lastly, sex is passionate and hot, but you have nothing else in common or nothing to talk about. And you wonder if you are addicted to the trauma of bonding, sex, or the person or relationship. So why I share this insight is my friend is Latino and his ex-wives are as well. So he entered a trauma bonding relationship and took on the role of the white knight. Some might be saying, what is trauma bonding? Trauma bonding is the attachment. That's the key word, attachment. An abused person feels toward their abuser. This is seen explicitly in a relationship with a reoccurring pattern of abuse. These trauma bonding relationships can occur within families, employment, friendships, business opportunities, held hostage, human trafficking, and even the foster care system. So what most likely happened to my friend was that when they met, a bond was created. When they shared their own failed marriages and past experiences of abuse during the marriage. Here are some examples people can relate to. 1. Confessions of love and heartache. We are the same and trying to find mutual connection. 2. expressed regret and devaluing their ex. Number 3, making future promises to one another to deepen the connection. Number 4, trying to make this new friendship feel safe and secure by repeatedly saying, quote, "You can trust me." Trustworthy people do not advertise, and many people overlook this red flag. Some of you might be wondering about the white knight syndrome. White knight syndrome is when you feel compelled to rescue people in intimate relationships, often at the expense of your own needs. The relationship feels like a project or a roller coaster ride. Some people can actively be drawn to women or men who seem helpless or need support. This person can either be the abuser or the victim. Both parties can play roles off and on within the relationship. So let me explain. When anyone discovers they are in a toxic relationship, it can be upsetting and shocking. I know for myself as well. Some people get angry and feel manipulated and betrayed, while others can feel trapped and stuck. My friend thought he was trying to help her, but he did not realize she was masking by pretending to be someone she was not. When her mask came off and all her shameful secrets were exposed, he just about lost it. It went against his morals, values, ethics, and faith. He felt stupid, guilty, regretful, and ashamed because deep down inside, he wanted to save her. But she did not want to be saved. She was not willing to change, attend therapy, or even go to rehab to get off her drug addiction. When he mentioned divorce, she shocked him even more by playing the victim and threatening that she would either kill herself, sell her body for drugs, or take her clothes off for money. This was too much for my friend to handle, so he started praying for guidance. Now that they were divorced, he is still feeling so much guilt, remorse, and shame. He wishes he could save her from herself, but he cannot. People around him treat him differently now that the truth has been revealed because they do not understand why someone like him could fall for a woman like her. Yet his friends, family, and church members are not educated about toxic traits and behaviors. They do not know about love bombing, masking, or trauma bonding relationships. Honestly, everyone around him was in the dark, and so was he. He fell into a trap that most people think they can overcome or escape. And when I say overcome, I mean they think or believe in the beginning that they can end that person's pain and suffering if they enter a healthy relationship with them. What he should have done was ask her deep personal questions to see if she was ready mentally and emotionally for a healthy relationship. So here are some examples. 1. What have you done to heal from your last marriage? 2. What steps have you taken to discover why the marriage did not work? Number 3. Did you try marriage counseling? Number 4. Have you ever been in a healthy relationship? And if so, what was it like? Number 5. What did your ex teach you about yourself and your relationship? And number 6. Are you still bitter and resentful? And if so, why? Instead, he dismissed her wounds. They complained together about their exes. Both felt like victims. Quickly, he gave into her affectionate ways and got hooked. Therefore, she became a project. The truth is, he is back where he started after his first marriage, but this time with more heartache, loneliness, and pain. He just wanted to be loved, and loved unconditionally. His mistake was rushing into a toxic relationship and being unaware that he could never save her. She had to be willing to save herself, and she was not. Has anyone you care about found themselves in a similar situation? Have you felt or thought the same way as my friend? It is a miserable state of mind to be stuck in grief. When he shared his misery with me at lunch, I told him, "You might not be aware of this fact, but your ex gave you a priceless gift. Do you know what it is?" At first, he was puzzled and said no. I went on to say, "She brought you closer to God. And without her crazy roller coaster ride, your relationship with God was like ordering takeout. Now you pray daily. And when you talked about God, your face beams with joy and appreciation. Yet, you still do not take God's advice. God said to enjoy the peace and become one with the essence of peace. But you cannot. There is no more drama in the house, only peace. Instead of guilt and regret, one can come from a gratitude mindset. I know you still love her unconditionally and care about her. Our thoughts are powerful, so why not send her blessings to find her way in life?" At first, he was quiet. I could tell his hamster wheel was coming to a stop, and then he stepped off. He said, "You're right. I have been growing closer to God for a couple of years because I have no one to turn to for advice and support. Ever since her departure, I have walked even closer to Him. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I absorbed everything you were saying, and you had so much to teach. Since she left, I feel more guilt, like I contributed to her behavior. Like there was more I could have done." We have all heard the saying, "You can bring a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink." I knew he did precisely what he felt was in her best interest, but she did not want it because she would have to alter her lifestyle, behaviors, and habits. It was too much for her, so she accepts what is comfortable, familiar, and routine in her mind when she needs to escape reality or avoid being a responsible adult. I told him that everyone is a teacher and student. To end our pain and suffering, you need to realize the blessings and gifts she gave you. Then you need to forgive yourself and learn from your errors in judgment instead of beating yourself up. She did not want to be saved, and that is the root of his grief and pain. Can anyone relate? Has anyone ever found themselves in this kind of situation? Now, regarding human consciousness, he was stuck at the vibrational level of 30. The energetic level of 30 concerns thoughts and emotions of guilt, remorse, judgment, inadequacy, blame, victimhood, punishment, and salvation attitude. After our conversation, he shifted his perspective from being stuck in the human consciousness range of 30 to 500. That's pretty amazing. So let me break down the steps I took during our conversation because anyone can learn these communication skills, self-reflection tools, and steps. Step 1 was to figure out his set point. My job was to listen because people would tell a person or display behaviors or traits that could illuminate their personal and professional problems. All I first knew was that he was stuck in 3D human consciousness. Instead of walking him up into depression at 50, fear at 100, anger at 150, or judgmental black and white thinking at 175, I springboarded him up into 400 human consciousness. Not everyone can do this because it takes practice, but I knew his heart. It would be easy for me to backslide and weave into the conversation courage at 200, confidence, openness to release the past, adaptability at 250, willingness to change, hope, optimism at 310. Next was forgiveness, level-headedness, and acceptance at 300. Lastly, it was the human consciousness range of 400. I needed him to find meaning, understanding, and wisdom within his experience with her. Remember, every thought pattern and emotion ranging from 200 to 400 supports everyone's well-being. Every thought pattern and emotion ranging from 20 to 175 sucks the life and joy out of people. So when I finished our conversation, I reminded him about unconditional love and what a gift unconditional love offers everyone, including himself. It was not easy because I could tell he wanted to slide back down into heartache and grief at 75, but I would not allow it. I let him know that all of us have a choice, and the more he becomes self-aware, the easier it will be to end his pain and suffering. He just had to view his story from a higher perspective instead of victimhood. He needed to stay focused on the gifts she gave him and how she was the teacher of unconditional love. He needed to pray for her to find her way out of the darkness and become courageous to transform her life. For he cannot do anything based on action, only energetically. There is power in prayer and power within our own point of focus. I hope this information has been helpful. I have created 3 new images to help people comprehend 3D, 4D, and 5D human consciousness. Print them out and try to apply it to your life. Before I wrap things up, I want to share something Jim Carrey once said about grief. Grief is not just an emotion. It is an unraveling, a space where something once lived but now gone. It carves through you, leaving a hollow ache where love once resided. In the beginning, it feels unbearable, like a wound that will never close. But over time, the raw edges begin to mend. The pain softens, but the imprint remains, a quiet reminder of what once was. The truth is, you never truly move on. You move with it. The love you had does not disappear. It transforms. It lingers in the echoes of laughter, in the warmth of old memories, in the silent moments where you still reach for what is no longer there. And that's okay. Grief is not a burden to be hidden, a weakness to be ashamed of. It is the deepest proof that love exists, that something beautiful once touched your life. So let yourself feel it. Let yourself mourn and let yourself remember. There is no timeline, no right way to grieve. Some days will be heavy and some will feel lighter. Some moments will bring unexpected waves of sadness, while others will fill you with gratitude for the love you were lucky enough to experience. Honor your grief, for it is sacred. It is a testament to the depths of your heart. And in time, through the pain, you will find healing, not because you have forgotten, but because you have learned how to carry both love and loss together. So in love and light, many blessings, Carrie Logan. Bye and have a great day.